This is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, the infamous Ultimate Warner. And as you can see, this is the Chokeslam Wrestling Report 300 episode. Yes, 300 episode. And we're doing the mid-year Pro Wrestling Report Card today and whatnot. Being that this morning, New Japan Pro Wrestling did the Dominion. I will not be talking about the card of that. I'm going to give you the grade, what I feel that has happened with all these wrestling companies. As you can see through this thumbnail, you don't see Ring of Honor and you don't see NXT. The reason I say that is because I don't watch those shows. But I know NXT has a very interesting, pretty much an interesting storyline between D'Angelo and Naruka and for the NXT Championship, which is going to happen, I think, at Great American Bash. But let's go and start with the grades here and whatnot. So, first of all, let's start off, out of AEW. And now I'm going to get graded. I'm going to tell you why I feel a certain way and whatnot. And I'm not going to play tribalism. I'm going to tell you what I feel and what I've seen in the last 6 months. AEW started off with a bang at the beginning of this year. Okay. They had, the Revolution shows, Dynasty shows. They had Double or Nothing. And they doubled, again, their pay-per-views. I have no complaint about their pay-per-views because their pay-per-views they're pretty much bangers. I really don't like some of the I could say the pre-show matches when they got AJ Boom in there, and QT Marshall. Even though they get a lot of fans out of that, a lot of fanfare, people cheer for that. I don't know why. I mean, I don't see anything with that. But other than that, if you look at what's going on in AEW, you have MJF right now as the world champion. Now, we saw MJF lose the belt to Darby the last 6 months. People were going crazy. People were talking about the MJF got, buried and whatnot. Next thing you know, but MJF, I mean, he was one of the first persons praising Darby Allin's, 2 month reign, if you could say, the 7 weeks he had. Even though he lost the title at Double or Nothing, but Darby Allin does what Darby Allin does, and that is to put his body on the line. And I automatically saw where they were going with that. It was all because Darby is a pillar. He has put his body on the line, for the company. And Tony Khan decided to go and, give him the belt for a couple of weeks. He did very well until his body couldn't take any more Double or Nothing. And now that looks like now Darby is going to have a feud with Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight's another one who won the TNT title, turned on Darby, turned on Mike Jetspeed, Speedball, whatever his name is, turned on him, and now he's part of the Don Callis family. But it's very interesting what's going on as far as the world title scene. You have Andrade, who wants that belt. And a lot of people are talking about, Andrade right now, he's the hottest thing going on. But AEW doesn't recognize the belt, the IWGP Global World Title. You ain't got to worry about that anymore. Because apparently Andrade lost the belt in a 3-way this morning to Shota Umino. You know what I'm saying? Which is interesting because then something happened afterwards where, which I'm going to be talking about as far as this AEW thing. Now, we had new tag team champions. We had Copeland and Christian won the tag team belts of FTR. FTR was the hottest tag team in AEW. You had the Young Bucks came back. Now they're fan favorites and whatnot. But I think when it comes to AEW, I think what they're lacking right now is a couple of people they lost. Okay. First of all, Mercedes Moné left. Mercedes Moné left for a couple of months. You know, she lost all her belts, whatever. She was 14 belts, whatever, Moné. But once the beginning of the year started, she started losing all her belts. They have two girls in there that have also got caught with the injury bug. And the women's division right now is lacking. And that is Willow Nightingale had a shoulder injury, so she's out and whatnot. And then Toni Storm. Now, Toni Storm has been the MVP when it comes to the women's division. Now the women's division looks kind of weak and whatnot. Willow Nightingale, again, she's out, but that before that, she lost the belt, you know, with Harley Cameron. Harley Cameron right now is just running around, you know, helping Chris Stanlander. You got Sheeta in there. Sheeta came back as a heel. But right now, if you look at it, now they're doing the Owen Hart women's tournament. Mercedes Moné came back. You know what I'm saying? Mercedes Moné came back. She is the defending champion as far as the tournament. Now, is she going to win it? I hope not. Because in reality, I'd rather have Athena win that, but then lose to Tekla. As far as that women's champion, Tekla, it has been excellent. I mean, though for her height, she's smaller, whatever, but she can wrestle. Tekla is the best thing that AEW had did as far as the women's division. But the women's division, as far as they're lacking on tag team. Because you have Divide Dominion as the tag team champions and whatnot. That's Lena Hook and Megan Baines. They hold the AEW tag team titles and whatnot. But you really don't have tag teams to go after her. After them. The only ones that I keep saying is the Brawling Birds, but they keep putting them in singles matches. They're feuding with the Triangle Madness and Tekla, and they keep putting them in singles matches, which is not going to help the women's division because you need tag teams. Tyler J came back. That didn't do anything for me. And as far as they're saying, oh, you know, they were the first tag team. Okay, they were the first tag team. How come they give the belts to them? So I'm not too crazy about, you know, Anna J and whatever and Ty. I'm not crazy about that. So as far like I said, but see, this is the problem also that I guess people get mad at AEW, and there's the fact that they do show like the last couple of weeks, their shows been hot. You know, every week some crazy shit happening, and then this week they slowed it down. I don't know why, but they slowed it down. It looked like the whole show was pretty much about Andrades. They started off the show with Jericho and Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa right now is stuck in this feud with Jericho for what? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like Jericho just came onto Tommaso Ciampa doing the promo. Oh, let me introduce myself. Like Ciampa don't know who he is, which is kind of stupid. The whole promo for that was horrible. You know what I'm saying? And then now they have the Death Rider feuding with Sean Taylor promotion. Why? You know what I'm saying? And I think they had a death match and a collision yesterday. I haven't watched it yet, but it's little things like this they kind of annoy me with AEW because it's like you guys are doing things that are hot, and then next thing you slow it down, you take it to another direction. Because this week's wrestling was not all that. You know what I'm saying? We had Mark Briscoe against Pac. For what? Now they're going to turn into a, what I'm seeing is they're going to put MJF's team against Mark Briscoe's team. But who are these people? So if you're going to put that in collision, why put it at Forbidden Door? It makes no sense. So, as far as AEW is concerned, they lack certain things, and I feel that they could do certain things better. Now, the only thing I appreciate about Tony Khan right now, he ain't worrying about WWE. He's not going to Twitter, going off, going crazy, whatever. Actually, the fans who hate AEW are the one, crashing out because, WWE's not doing well, and they put in the death of AEW for years and whatnot. And now with this whole thing with AEW, with the announcement that Paramount bought Warner Brothers, and now everybody's talking about, AEW's in trouble. They're going to have no TV deal. They're up to 2027. They still got to next year. And it's not to 2028. They'll be good. So by then, we'll figure it out. But, you're going to have all these AEW haters. They're going to be talking about television, deals and business when they don't know shit. They don't know nothing. They're just going to be talking and just talking and talking because they hate AEW. Right now, I give AEW right now a B minus. You know what I'm saying? Because they could do the pay-per-views are great. Don't get me wrong. It's just the shows. They do great shows, and then 1 week they just like what they did this week. Just slow everything down. You know what I'm saying? But before I continue, matter of fact, no, I'm gonna go on to the next one, which is New Japan Pro Wrestling. New Japan Pro Wrestling just had Dominion this morning, right? Now, New Japan Pro Wrestling, everything changed in the beginning of the year. No more Bullet Club. You know what I'm saying? The Bullet Club members are part of Hogtied, whatever the hell they call it, and whatnot. Or the whatever was with Yoda Sushi. They made Yuta Sushi the world champion when he defeated Konosuke Takeshita. I don't like Yoda Sushi. I really don't, because I don't feel like he should be the face of the company. Right now, it looks like Hiroshi Tanahashi is really, really, I don't know, how would I say? He thinks this is the guy who's going to push New Japan to another level. Now, New Japan is going through a lot of behind the scenes stuff with the company Bushi Road, and them being on television and Ashi TV. It's been, I don't know, stuff in the behind the scenes, whatever. But right now, as far as New Japan, toward the middle of April and May, Sakura Genesis, we saw something that looks like we're gonna have an AEW versus New Japan kind of war. The minute I said that back in April, then we saw Will Ospreay telling the United Empire that he needed help in his job, which meant the United Empire showed up at AEW, had a match with the Death Riders. Forward 2 months later, you got now Ospreay working with the Death Riders, right? Today, Callum Newman lost the belt to Yoda Sushi again. And I knew he was going to lose the belt the minute I saw the press conference yesterday where Callum Newman attacked Yoda Sushi. And I already said, we put him through a table. I said, yep, he's winning the belt. He's getting the belt back and whatever. I don't like that, because now you put in everything on Yoda Sushi again. I don't think he's a strong champion. You should have left it with Callum Newman. I think they were doing a project or whatever it is for United Empire. But right now, they went as far even to take the belts away from the Knockout Brothers. Now, the Knockout Brothers in Japan are one of the best tag teams they have. But we saw that the Knockout Brothers lost the belt to Hanari and Great O'Khan and whatnot. So they don't have the belts anymore. So they did a lot of stuff. Andrade lost his global title to Shota Umino, like I said earlier in this podcast. Okay, so he don't have the belt, but something interesting came out of that. Okay, Gabe Kidd, who has been hurt since I believe since Dynasty, Gabe Kidd went and attacked Shota Umino and whatnot, and he said that he's working with the Death Rider and he is AEW. Again, this happened back in Sakura Genesis when Callum Newman defeated Yoda Sushi for the belt. And then after the match, Gabe Kidd ended up attacking Yoda Sushi, and he had an AEW shirt. Okay, which, I mean, if you guys want to go to my episodes, you can go check that out while I talk. That this is a part of something that now most likely is going to be New Japan versus AEW. It's going to be a storyline where we're going to have this happen. Okay, now, well, Ospreay has been part of all that going on, but now Gabe Kidd is also part. So we'll probably have something going on as far as Japan. Now, like I said, all these changes. Why not Dookie lost the belt to Yo and whatnot? I don't know how he lost again. I will get that the Dominion review. I will do it next week. But for right now, I'm just giving you the grade of New Japan, how they've been doing all week. Evil left. Evil's not known as Nakura in NXT. So them losing Evil was bad. For me, it was bad. Because this guy had a faction of the House of Torture, which is now run by oh my God, what is his name? I forgot his name. but it's not the same. New Japan has lost so many wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? My boy De Niro did yesterday at Wrestle DeLorean about how Forbidden Door is not the same it was when it first happened. You're right. Because back then, the amount of talent that had left New Japan had them. They had Jay White, they had Will Ospreay, they had Okada. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes Shingo Takagi would come in. You had Hiromu. You had all these guys that would show up. Tomohiro Ishii is always in AEW, but he was one of those guys that show up and whatnot. Naito showed up one time. All these guys are gone from New Japan. Everything that New Japan has right now are young wrestlers. So my thing right now, for me as Forbidden Door, yeah, you're right, because we don't know if we're going to see Yota Tsuji in AEW Forbidden Door. We know that there's an announcement. It's going to be Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr. And the funny thing is that this past Wednesday, they're talking about, it's the first time they ever met. No, they met in 2018. First time ever was 2018 at the G1 Climax. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you think about it, New Japan is not the same New Japan that it was, I say, 3 or 4 days. Hey, OPC, what's going on? Yes, Ren Narita. Ren Narita is the one running House of Torture. But New Japan has lost so many wrestlers. So many wrestlers. And now, if you do Forbidden Door, and like De Niro said, it's not the same way it was back then, because now it's like, you're going to bring Sonata. Sonata came one time and defended the belt against, Jack Perry. That's when Jack Perry was pissed off at AEW after that. But at the same time, if you think about it, New Japan's got to do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what they're doing. And don't get me wrong, it's not that, because New Japan is like, that's my top number one company that I love. But it's not the same. It's not the same. The fact that Yo won the Best of the Super Junior, he deserved it. That guy deserved it. Ben deserving it. He's a good wrestler, and finally he wins the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. It's good. But the one thing I did not like is them taking the belts away from the KOB, Knockout Brothers. If you guys haven't seen Knockout Brothers, I'll suggest you go to YouTube and check them out. But they lost the belts to Hanari and Great O'Khan. You know what I'm saying? Now, do I feel that Great O'Khan and Hanari deserve it? Yeah, of course they deserve it. They're good wrestlers. I mean, Hanari deserves anything, because that guy has taken an ass whooping in that company, and the fact that he was in a cage match with the War Dog, cracked his head wide open, then taped his head up and continued to match. That's a badass dude. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I feel that New Japan could do better. So I'm gonna give New Japan a B- also. You know what I'm saying? So, just to think about it. So moving on, let's go with CMML. CMML, I mean, that's hard to see, but every time I watch CMML, their wrestlers are good. They shows are good. I don't get to see them a lot, but I know they working relationship with AEW. Their wrestlers in there. And there's one particular wrestler that I love out of CMML, and that's Máscara Dorada. That dude, he has, I think he's part of a 6-man tag with Mystico and whatnot. Him, Echisato, that dude is right now he's the CMML World Champion. He just beat Claudio Castagnoli from the Death Riders a couple of months ago. And that dude is a badass. You know what I'm saying? CMML, I think they've been around for 90-something years, and I don't think nobody's going to be able to top them. They're like the WWE in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Their tag team is pretty good. Even though their tag team, a lot of their matches are 2 out of 3. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too crazy about that, 2 out of 3. But when they do work with New Japan, when they do work with AEW, Ring of Honor, their matches are good. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they have the Global Wars and whatnot. And when they do, Grand Slam Mexico, they do work with AEW. Their shows are pretty good. Their wrestlers are pretty good. I have not seen a CMML match that it has been horrible. Never. I've never seen a CMML match that's been horrible. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I think they B+. I give them a B plus because I don't give them an A or A plus because I have to see more of them and whatnot. So that's not really fair to other companies or whatever. But I think it's the same thing. But I gave them a B plus. Moving along here, let's go with WWE. I'm gonna go with WWE, and a lot of people are not gonna be happy when I was talking about WWE because WWE right now, and I get a lot of people who just talk. They just talk. Oh, the first thing when I say that WWE is not doing great, first thing, AEW can't hit 1 million. Now, I posted a picture of Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu this past week, stating what Netflix had reported that WWE is now 1.98 globally, which lets me to believe, or not like to believe, if you break it down domestically, they're under 1 million. Now, a lot of people are like, the first thing excuse was, because they were in Europe and that the time that they put it, Netflix, it wasn't that 8 o'clock hour. What they don't understand is Netflix don't care about what time it starts. They worry about the 7 days a week. That's how they figure they show the amount of people who watches this for the whole week. It's not like when they were using USA Network, they get it one day and whatnot. And if they would have been in USA Network, Raw, they probably would have been under 1 million. Because January 6th of last year, when they debuted in Netflix, okay, they were 4.5. That's what they announced, because you really can't believe anything that WWE says. They were 4.5 globally, right? So give and take, we'll say that they did a 2.2 in the United States, okay? Or 2.25, whatever, right? So they did a 2.25 million, right? Think about it. That from that time last year to now, they probably domestically are now 900,000. What that tells you, that they have lost close to 1 million, close to 1.5 million, close to it. A 1.3 of domestic people that they have lost. Okay. But people get mad. The first thing you say something about WWE, they automatically want to point fingers at AEW. AEW has been around for 7 years. Okay. And yeah, and I just finished saying that they got issues because they could be hot. And 1 minute they just throw a show like they did on Wednesday, and it was horrible. But let's be realistic. What's been going on with WWE? Okay, since probably Backlash of last year, WWE has had issues with when it comes to showcasing their pay-per-views. They're right now ESPN. Everything is commercial. They're not giving you 7 or 8 matches per pay-per-view. They're only giving you 5. And most of their matches, if you look at it, those are matches they put on Raw or SmackDown. Okay. The world title was a hot potato during the wintertime. It went from Cody to Drew McIntyre and back to Cody. You know what I'm saying? And now what happened in Clash of Italy, the botch, I call it the botch. We're going to see now Gunther get another shot at Cody Rhodes with Mr. Sami Zayn as a special referee. Now, this is what the problem with WWE is. It's that they'll throw in Sami Zayn in the middle of a storyline that does not make no sense and whatnot. There was a slap fest happen in SmackDown. And I'm like, okay, now are we going to see Cody get screwed, lose the belt again and whatnot? Because it can't happen. The fact that Gunther lost at Clash of Italy shows you that WWE don't know what the fuck they're doing. This man retired Goldberg. He retired John Cena. He retired AJ Styles. And then when he wrestles Cody, next thing you know, my man gets pinned. And they did a botch pin on top of that. And let's talk about the bloodline. The bloodline situation right now, is a rinse and repeat with different characters. Now you don't have Sami Zayn as part of the bloodline. Now you have Jacob Fatu. Now they're trying to get Solo Sikoa to join them. Okay. So let's say let's give and take. Let's say Solo Sikoa does join the bloodline. What happens to Tama Tonga? What happens to I still call him Hikuleo, the big dude and whatnot. I mean, what's gonna happen with them? You know what I'm saying? Because Tonga Loa is gone. They got rid of him for no reason, and Jeff Cobb. So, and they got rid of New Day. So you got rid of New Day. That team has been a day one team in WWE, and you got rid of New Day. It's most likely they're going to end up in AEW. You know what I'm saying? But this is what I'm talking about. You bring this up to a wrestling fan, and they get mad. Oh, AEW is not making million. AEW is garbage. AEW is this. AEW is that. But you're not seeing the true what's happening in front of your face. You wanted to listen. I know as a fan, you want that company that's your favorite to do better. It's the same thing with New Japan. New Japan is my favorite. I want New Japan to succeed. I want New Japan to look better than what they're looking right now. But sometimes companies go through their lows and go through their highs. WWE should not be going through their lows. They got a lot of talent and they don't use them. Okay? They do not use them. Now, they got a couple of talents in there that I could say they could blow up. Obafemi's one of them. Trick Williams is another one. You know what I'm saying? Those two guys are the future of the company. But WWE likes to go and use these 40-year-olds, which includes CM Punk, because now CM Punk looks like he's on steroids, if you've seen his pictures lately. Okay? So we're probably going to see CM Punk versus Cody for the belt. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why I'm saying, in a way, I don't see Gunther beating Cody Rhodes. If he does, you know what I'm saying, but are we going to have, a match between Cody and CM Punk for a number one contention spot, and then CM Punk get his revenge on Gunther? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. The women's division, don't even get me started with the women's division, because the women's division in WWE is horrific. I was just talking to somebody online about, there's also should Jake Cargill blow up or whatever. Listen, Jake Cargill had an opportunity when she had the world title, and she had the world title for nearly 3-4 months, defended it once. Okay? Defended it once. And she lost it at WrestleMania. She got her rematch and lost again. And then the group she's with, do you really need to buy the baddies? Because Michi and B-Fab, those two girls, they don't fit in there. Just in the fact that I saw Michi using the Styles class the other day, and I was like, I was ready to spaz out, but then I'm like, AJ Styles probably gave her the green light to use it. But Jake Cargill, let's be realistic. Jake Cargill don't give a rat's ass about wrestling. The reason she came to WWE, she made it clear when she first got here. Got to WWE. This is an opportunity for her to get openings outside of WWE. You think she cares about wrestling? She doesn't care. She even mentioned that she knew she was going to get the belt back when she lost to Rhea Ripley. She said, I might get a rematch, but I'm not getting the belt back. She said this in a podcast. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me started with the tag team either. Because to be honest, I don't even know who the hell is the tag team champions. You know what I'm saying? I think R-Truth and Priest is the tag team in one of the shows. I don't even know who the other ones who got the other tag teams. That goes to show you how much the tag team division, they don't care for tag team division. The only ones they care about right now is Dominic Mysterio. He's walking around with that AAA title. Like, you knew that the minute they bought that company AAA, that they were going to put, somebody from, NXT or somebody from WWE to be walking around with that belt. You know what I'm saying? And, right now, if you look at WWE, they don't, TKO does not care about their fans. They don't care about, how the shows are going, the television shows. They don't care. They made it clear. AAA's made it clear. If you don't like what they do, you'll go F off. He made that shit clear. And with Nick Khan talking about, oh, we don't get into social media, go back and forth with the fans because you don't care. You probably look at it and you're probably laughing and they'll look, this is what they want. And if you look at all the people that they have, because the one thing I noticed that a lot of these wrestling fans that see nothing wrong with the apologists, I call them, they don't see nothing wrong with what's going on with WWE. If you look at it, a lot of the guys that they have in AEW, Rusev, nothing. Most of the time you see him looking at the lights. I'm surprised that Ethan Page has not beaten the Penta. Penta's the only one, I think, from Cody and Penta are the only ones that I noticed that they actually have had major titles. Because Rey Fenix, he was looking at the lights for a lot of time that they signed him to AAA. And now he's the Cruiserweight champion from AAA, which I'm happy. Ethan Page, they got him teaming up with Rusev. I don't know why. Okay. Julia right now is about to go with Kiana James and a few. Does the WWE Universe care for that? Okay. Charlotte Flair is getting another title shot, and she's going after Rhea Ripley. Okay. Now they got Jassy J, whatever her name is, and the two other girls. They bring all these girls in there. They come from NXT, and I do a lot of bites. I just saw some girl get, I think, drop kick or something, and her freaking wig was coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you serious? It's like, listen, at the end of the day, I would love for WWE to improve. You know what I'm saying? But they don't. They don't care. They don't care for the fans. You know what I'm saying? I'm not spending no $500 in no nosebleed section to go see WWE in Madison Square Garden. I wouldn't, hell no. I would not spend no money on WWE because they're not giving you a good product. You know what I'm saying? Every time I watch, I don't even watch Raw. I don't even watch SmackDown. I go to YouTube and I see the clips. Save myself the agony of being 2 hours on Monday and 3 hours on Friday to look at these shows. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag fire Mike Shapiro and Nick Khan. Those guys are not going nowhere, bro. I mean, there's even a rumor going around, and there was a podcaster that you guys probably know of. There's always ranting and raving and screaming like a fucking lunatic, talking about that Mr. McMahon may come back. Mr. McMahon's not coming back. He is not coming back to TKO. That, you know, it's funny how everybody wants Vince McMahon back, but in reality, they were dying for him to leave. And when he left, people were applauding it. And now you see what they're getting now. And they still, you know, people are not satisfied. Oh, bring Vince McMahon back. You see what I'm saying? Like, they don't know what they want. 1 minute they want McMahon, 1 minute they don't want McMahon. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So let's move on to AAA, because AAA, I was talking about it when I was saying about Dominic Mysterio. Now, I'm never a big fan of AAA. I know some of the wrestlers in there. Like I said, Rey Fenix, the Cruiserweight champion. I just saw Vikingo beat, I think, Dr. Wagner Jr. on the night that they have a Grande Americano versus Grande Americano. Now, that match was dope. Listen, the fact that, first of all, Chad Gable, I say Gabe Kidd. Chad Gable and Louis Kaiser are under these hoods and giving you matches that match lasts about 45 minutes. If I'm correct, OPC, I think it was 45 minutes, that match. That they even put it on Netflix last week. Those two guys tore the house down. The fact that you got Louis Kaiser, he's not even Mexican, under a hood, becoming this popular, has people crying in Mexico. The guy knows, I don't know how, the next guy in line to get a shot at Dominic Mysterio. Again, I'm not too crazy with Mr. Iguana because those are gimmick shit. I hate those fucking type of wrestlers and whatnot. Now, the War Raiders, I saw them win the AAA titles, which congratulations to them because they become the first team to have the WWE titles, the IWGP titles, the Ring of Honor titles, and now AAA. So they up there, they made history. You know You know what I'm saying? Pagano and Psycho Clown, I think it is, his name is. Those guys, I'm familiar with them. And now it looks like Pagano and Psycho Clown are going to have a feud, which is going to be very interesting. But what Undertaker's doing there right now, I've said to myself, okay, Undertaker's doing a great job right now. Now, my question is, once Louis Kaiser or Gran Americano wins the belt from Dominic Mysterio, how is he going to continue to have that momentum he's having right now? Because right now, let me tell you something. Louis Kaiser right now is the hottest shit right now in AAA. You know what I'm saying? And right now, AAA is hot. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I don't like about AAA is they do the shows instead of having live events, they'll do it one like what they did. They did the Gran Americano versus Gran Americano 1 week, and then the following week they did the beginning of that show and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like throws me off because maybe I don't want to see the rest of the other stuff. But right now, AAA is doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? The question is, are they going to be able to continue this little trend that they got? Because they got Triple Mania coming up, and I believe it's in August and September, and it's a two-day event. One of them is in Mexico, the other was in the United States. I don't know if I don't remember the dates, but that's going to be very interesting. Does Dominic Mysterio cough off the belt and because it meant to say if Gran Americano wins that belt, that place is that whole arena is gonna blow up because he's gonna get it. Because he's big right now. Louis Kaiser under that hood is the man in Mexico. Same thing could be doing with Chad Gable. Chad Gable now, I don't think he's gonna be doing AAA work over there now anymore. He's in this feud, is helping Penta, Rey Mysterio because he made fun of the luchadors and whatnot, and now he's in this story. You know what I'm saying? To see what happens. I don't know what they're gonna do with Chad Gable because I know tomorrow he's supposed to wrestle Rusev. He's gonna win because I don't see Rusev beating him unless it's gonna be some disqualification. He's gonna get jumped by Ethan Page and Rusev. I can see that. But Chad Gable right now, what WWE could do with him, with that momentum that he brought, and the No Se Grande Fu show, however, what he could do. The WWE universe seen this guy wrestle. He should have been the one to beat Gunther for the Intercontinental Champion when Gunther was the champion, but they chose not to. They kept playing around with him. You know what I'm saying? And they put him under a mask. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot. And right now, this is WWE's momentum. This is WWE's gold mine to take Chad Gable to the next, level. So, let me see here. Circle Bay said Chad Gable now needs to be pushed to get him out of the mid card. Needs to begin heading for the belt later down the line. He pays his due already, so it's time for the title chase. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like right now, is what you said earlier. Chad Gable. No, what was it here? No Taking was full show. However, they recorded the first album, which was night 2. Then they went live from there. Oh, okay. But then the announcers are not in the arena. They're doing that shit for somewhere else and whatnot, And it's true. He paid his due. He definitely paid his due. Steve, what else, Steve? Thank you. And I'm not a Knicks fan, but being that they're from New York, the whole damn city was bugging the hell out. But congratulations to them. 53 years? And it's crazy because they won. The last time they won was in 73, was a day before my 3rd birthday. So that was crazy. But Gable for the United States title. Him and Trick, nah, they're not gonna take the belt away from Trick right now. Trick Williams right now is, again, like I said, WWE has 2 big stars there. There's Trick Williams and Obafemi. Do you really want to take the belt away from Trick Williams, who has a big time momentum going on? He's winning with Ricky Sainz and the other guy, I forgot his name, who was the United States champion. You want to take that momentum again. Then again, this WWE, they take momentum from people just to push somewhere else. I don't see Chad Gable winning the United States title unless Trick Williams loses to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Right now, they're gonna put him in that storyline with Penta, Rey Mysterio, and they're gonna be feuding with Ethan Page and Rusev. They're probably putting a third person, who the hell knows they're gonna put in there. So, but never know. But AAA right now, AAA, I'll give it a B plus. You know what I'm saying? WWE, WWE, I'm giving it a D minus. You know what I'm saying? Gable, Money in the Bank. That could happen. Nah, but you don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I understand what you're saying. I mean, I get it. But the last time that somebody cashed in the damn Money in the Bank, and whatnot, and cashed in for the United States title was Austin Theory. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to cash in the stupid Money in the Bank for no damn second mid-card title. You cash in the Money in the Bank when you get for the world title. They did that a couple of years ago. If you guys remember that. You know what I'm saying? It was just dumb. I'm like, they didn't know what to do with the Money in the Bank. So here Theory was walking on with it, and he cashed in on the damn United States title, which would make no damn sense. So WWE gets a D minus. I could give them an F if I want to, but they get a D minus because the only thing that saved the D minus was a damn Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. And and I love how people put these rumors about CM Punk was apologizing to AEW. That's a rumor that was going around this week, and that he's apologizing and he has issues with the WWE. Man, he ain't going nowhere. Nah, he ain't going nowhere. What he's doing is shooting up steroids because he looks buff. He wasn't looking like that. You know what I'm saying? And he probably doing that because he's hurt. You know what I'm saying? He's a walking injury. The guy's like 45, 46 years old. You know what I'm saying? And also, before I continue to my next promotion, the Jey Uso project has began again. Because now they pushed him to win. They're pushing him, and it looks like they're pushing him for him to win the whole King of the Ring. You know what I'm saying? Because he ended up beating Royce Keys didn't get pinned, but LA Knight got pinned. They are shitting on LA Knight like they don't care. Like, what's the point? If you're not going to push this guy, let him go. Let him go somewhere else. The whole point of Jey Uso again winning a match, pinning LA Knight is just mad stupid. Like, this whole bloodline shit is just garbage. I don't want to see this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I know where it's going. You know what I'm saying? The TNA. Let's talk about TNA. TNA, and I always said this, whether they started working with WWE or not, TNA, the people that run TNA don't know what the fuck they're doing. Okay? First of all, the fact that they went and made a deal or started working with WWE, and they thought that WWE was going to help them with everything, whatever, and blase. WWE helped them. They helped them get that channel, AMC. And they went around bragging. You know what I'm saying? They were bragging about, we're going to be the number 2 promotion. We're going to pass AEW, blah, blah, blah. Even during the AEW was going through the 500, 500,000 views, whatever it was. But if you look at it right now, they lost Steve Macklin. They lost Jordan Grace. They lost Joe Hendry. They're about to lose Mike Santana. What the hell do they have left? Now I'm hearing that Amazing Red is coming back. Now, I honestly, I'm saying, why would you bring Amazing Red in? Even though Amazing Red, I don't know if he's still half owner of House of Glory, but I don't know why Amazing Red's going back to TNA. Because if you look at what's the worst thing? That there's 2 bad things already in this year that I've seen with TNA. The first one is the fact that a jobber pinned the Knockouts World Champion. I forgot her name, but anyway, a jobber from, I think, something with Elegance, some shit like that. A jobber, a guy, end up pinning the not exhibition, the Knockouts World Champion. You know how embarrassing is that shit? And then the second thing, Mr. Carlos Silva, which this man don't know what the hell he's doing, have no clue. The fact that because he's Nick Khan's puppet, went and pulled out Nick Nemeth from his match versus MJF because their feelings got hurt. They felt that AEW put AEW Collision on purpose and whatnot to hurt them. When in reality, that's not their call. That's the Warner Brothers and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? They decided that because of the NCAA game, tournament and whatnot. So, and then top it off, what I'm hearing also, Wall Shakur is saying it right now, Leon Slayer might go to AEW. Why not? He just lost the belt to, what's this guy's name? I forgot. He just lost the belt. But, you know what I'm saying? It's like, these people don't know what they're doing. They think that WWE is helping. Right now, they're having issues selling their biggest show of the year, which is Slammiversary. WWE is not even helping them. I thought that WWE was in a partnership with TNA and whatnot. Because the last time I checked, they supposedly got them the AMC deal. Now, from what we're hearing, and I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks, the Great American Bash is the same day as Slammiversary and Forbidden Door. So now, what they got to say about that? Carlos Silva is an idiot. And I'm going to keep saying it. That guy is just there. He pops out all the time in these shows. He wants to be the next Tony Khan or Billy Corgan from NWA. They want to be on TV for what? You're not the main guy in the show. You know what I'm saying? So WWE thinks they're doing things for them, but they're not. Look, the fact, first of all, and people can say whatever they want. I'm gonna keep bringing it up, and I'm gonna keep saying it. The fact the UN had Joe Hendry at the time he was the world champion lose to Randy Orton in 3 minutes at WrestleMania last year. I think it was last year or the year before. Okay. So what are we doing? TNA has been a failure. TNA has been a failure since 2013. Actually, no. Let me correct that. Since 2021. Okay. Because 2019 and whatnot, it was doing great. Because I still remember the Sami Callihan versus Tessa Blanchard. That was, that was a great match. What people are sleeping is one promotion that they're sleeping on, and that's Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. Okay. So MLP is coming very soon. They're going to have I think in Canada channel, which I have. And they're going to do their thing. And they work with AEW. You know what I'm saying? But, people get mad when you tell them a company is not doing well. I mean, what you want me to do? Just to tell you a lie? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to lie. I don't got nothing to gain by lying. But right now, Carlos Silva doesn't know what he's doing. And they're about to lose Mike Santana. Mike Santana might go to NXT. You know what I'm saying? Do I see him go to the main roster right away? No. I see him going to NXT. He fits there perfectly, but especially with Nakura, also known as fucking Evil, is there. D'Angelo, who is the NXT champion. You know what I'm saying? Those are the only thing I know about NXT. I don't follow NXT. And the same thing with Ring of Honor. I don't know who. I don't know Bandito's the world champion, but he sure hasn't been looking like it as the world champion. When you're getting beaten by Swerve and Andrade and whatnot, you shouldn't be carrying no world title. You know what I'm saying? So, so that's why I don't grade NXT, because I barely see it. I just see clips and bits and pieces there and whatnot. So I know one wrestler that's still down there since he left AEW. That's Lexi King. Brian Pillman Jr., when are you coming up to the main roster? He's been down there for the last 5 years, some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You thought the grass was greener on the other side, well, didn't you? So, you know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. It's crazy. But that is it for me, guys. Let me check what Circles was said. WWE wants Santana in the main roster, not NXT. If he signs with them, he will go straight to the main roster, which I fear for him. They'll use him once and have his ass on catering. Yep. If he comes straight to the ring roster, that's exactly what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, he Santana's a good wrestler, but I think he needs a little bit more work, a little more polishing. He'll do perfect in NXT. You know what I'm saying? But I said TNA ought to get out of working with WWE. Get Scott D'Amore back and merge with Maple Leaf. Nah. No. Scott D'Amore, leave him where he's at. You know what I'm saying? Because Scott D'Amore is working with the AEW. He's working with New Japan. You don't want to work with TNA for what? TNA shitted on him. They didn't want to let him go. He wanted to buy TNA. I will not. You know what? TNA got what they got coming. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to sleep with the devil. They made their bed. They got to lie on it. You cannot, no matter what happens, this is what they thought. Carlos Silva is a Nikon puppet. Okay? And every time I see him, I'm like, why? Why? Just saying, if you barely skill Scott D'Amore being part of the show, he'll make a match here and there. You know what I'm saying? But you don't see him like Scott D'Amore, like Carlos Silva sitting with the announcers with his stupid TNA hat, like a dork. You know what I'm saying? And look, when TNA first started back in 2002, there used to be in pay-per-views. Man, I used to love TNA, and I used to watch it every week. I watched it all the way to 2013 when AJ Styles left. That's why I can't watch this shit no more. I can't. And I suffered for a good 2 years because I didn't watch WWE. I didn't watch TNA. I started watching Ring of Honor and New Japan. And that's when I got into it again. And I started seeing all the stuff because, the fire stick, all the stuff, jailbreaking, and you can see New Japan, whatever. And I started getting into it again. You know what I'm saying? And here we are. You know what I'm saying? 2026, 10 years later, on my 300 episode and whatnot, talking about this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, again, I wish wrestling was the way it was back in 2016, 17, and again, All Elite Wrestling grew from all this stuff. And that's why it's called All Elite Wrestling, because only the elite wrestlers from the independents are in All Elite. You know what I'm saying? So, but WWE doesn't care. They're going to give you the same. You're going to see the Roman Reigns. You're going to see the Bloodlines. You're going to see LA Knight get crushed every time. They're going to keep pushing the Jey Uso project because that's exactly what is going on. TNA is going to sign an ex-WWE and then next thing to pull them all the way to the top, give them the belt, and then take it away from them when their contract is over. That's what TNA does. You know what I'm saying? New Japan, again, like I said, needs to, polish what's going on in their roster. AEW needs to stop doing what they did this past Wednesday. You got everybody all excited, and then you just push the brakes. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? CMML, I think they're right now the best Mexican wrestling with, I guess, along with AAA for now. AAA is still behind them, regardless the way I look at it. And I'm not saying that because they work with WWE. I'm not saying that. It's because AAA was always behind CMML. You know what I'm saying? Even when Conan was doing their work there. You know what I'm saying? That's why they sold the company to WWE. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, with AAA, does Undertaker continue to put good storylines or not? Or is it over after Louis Kaiser or the Grand Americano wins the Mega Championship? We'll see. We'll see. At the end of the year, we will see where everybody stands and whatnot. I'm still looking forward for G1 coming up in July. I'm still looking forward for this Forbidden Door coming up for AEW, the All In and whatnot. WWE, they're going to have the 2-night event for SummerSlam. We don't even know what the hell's going to go on. TNA, are they still going to be around? They're going to be WWE's, little bitch, and they'll take all their good wrestlers and leave them with nothing. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know, but that's it for me, guys. Thank you very much for supporting me today. I want to thank those who was in the chat and whatnot. So once again, you got friends or whatever, share this, and share the channel, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report YouTube channel and whatnot. And I want to thank everybody who's been with me since day one. Circle Debate, Circle Debate has been with me since day one. We hooked up back in 2020 as far as through Twitter, and we continue contact. And I'm part of the debate network and the Circle Debate, and my boy OPC, the Redeemer, you know what I'm saying, and the whole crew, De Niro. Thank you very much for supporting me and whatnot. So we still doing everything. The Circle Debate, the Debate Network. We are part of the Debate Network. Check them out every day. Pretty much they on watch-alongs on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, and even on pay-per-views. Most of these guys were up today at 3 o'clock in the morning watching Dominion. So you got to give props to them and whatnot. And yeah, Shakur, Dynamite Dispatch was mid. I haven't seen Collision yet, but I saw clips of it and it looked like it was fire. So, it's a lot of things I got to catch up on, a lot of wrestling and whatnot. But once again, thank you very much, everybody. If you want to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and the X and whatnot. Follow me there. Also on TikTok, I put little clips there. You can go check it out. Check me out there. What else am I missing? Also check out my podcast store. I got shirts, hats, hoodies, and whatnot. If you want to buy something for your friend, your girlfriend, or your mom, your pops, whatever, we got apparels. We got t-shirts, hats, and hoodies. Go to tcwr.veryinkpressive.com. That's tcwr.veryinkpressive.com and whatnot. Check out what we have. Again, we are also available on YouTube. Of course, the channel, support the channel. We are almost we're trying to get down to 2,000 subscribers and whatnot. We're on 1,600 right now. So we need 400. So share. Again, thank you very much for all the support. Episode 300 is now over. And I will see you guys next week with more of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.